Alright, we're back here. Maybe with any luck you just saw the video that I did on the Forcecut, or not Forcecut, but the, where is it? The MIG Weld 140. That's a little MIG that came in at the same time as this Longevity Forcecut 42i. This is a flagship, absolute flagship plasma cutter for Longevity. I've got my notes here. A lot of numbers to remember and stuff, you know, kind of gets lost. This unit is a 40 amp plasma cutter. It will cut a severance cut of 1 inch at 5 inches per minute. It will cut a beautiful clean cut, 3/4 inch steel. It'll do 1 inch. You lose a little bit of quality on the back side cutting 1 inch, but we're talking about a great cut. Let's have a 40 amp machine. It is a 40% duty cycle at 40 amps. So it's a tank. It's a hoss. It's blowback start, which this machine is designed to be able to be integrated with CNC stuff, like a CNC table or whatever. And the blowback start, it's different than high frequency start, and the reason that it's good for CNC integration is because it doesn't give all of the feedback and the problems and interference that you get from the high frequency. It's actually a mechanical function that starts the arc, and it's able to use that to keep the arc going as voltage increases or decreases during a cut. This is such an intelligent welder. It's 21st century technology. Very, very good stuff. You're looking at the newest circuitry. It's IGBT inverter circuitry. It's the latest, greatest stuff out there. It is pilot arc controlled. You get with it, and you're going to see all this, your ground, your torch, and this runs a PT60 torch, which is a high-end torch, nice torch. Very, very good torch with readily accessible consumables at any of your stores, companies that sell plasma cutter stuff. You get your 110 volt 220 adapter. It will run on those specs that I told you will run 220. It will run on 110. I haven't run this one on 110 yet, but traditionally they lose a little bit of power and a little bit of control. It comes with a starter kit of consumables, so you're going to have a few tips and different things you need. And it also comes with the torch spacer, which is kind of a guard. It's a guide to help you cut and get used to cutting. I said that it is CNC ready. It does, of course, have your thermal overload protection, built-in air filter regulator, built-in water separator. Those are all important things. It's again, we'll use the CRKT. This one's the CK Dragon for doing our opening. And get this thing opened up and let you guys see what we're dealing with. And then I'm going to pull the top off of this thing and let you guys see inside of it. And again, I am a dealer for Longevity, and so anybody that is interested in any Longevity products, you can see right back there is a Longevity TIG. Let me know. I'll get you set up. You're going to have some literature. And what I want to stress to you guys, this is Longevity products. These are not Harbor Freight stuff. This is not bargain basement stuff. This is super high-end high quality machines. You cannot put these in the same category as Harbor Freight. You get a lot of guys out there that what I like to call the weld snobs on the forums and stuff, that they've never dealt with longevity. They don't know anything about the products. They just automatically assume that it's Harbor Freight stuff or some of the stuff off of eBay. And let me assure you, this is not. The longevity products, most all of them come with a 5-year parts and labor warranty. Miller and Lincoln don't even have that. Let's see here. Here is our torch, and this is our guide right here. It does have a safety, which some people like this type of thing, some people don't. If you've ever had a torch take off on you when you weren't expecting it, you'll appreciate the guard. Some of the torches on the lower end machines have a button on the back. I don't like that. I like a trigger. It's a lot easier to use. Whenever you're cutting, it's a lot more ergonomic and it just seems to work better. It's more natural to pull on that trigger rather than depressing a button up top. It's just easier to control that way. You can see everything comes capped off. Very nice stuff. We've got ground. This is the jumper. Basically what it is the machine is wired for 220 right off the bat, and this will let you run it on 110. The machine will automatically switch from 110 to 220. You don't have to do anything but plug it into the appropriate thing. Now we'll get the machine out. And of course there's the cord, like what we were saying. And this unit comes with a strap. It is considered to be a portable unit. Now that you've seen that, turn this around here. And let's open up our display. This is just a clear display to protect everything, protect your settings. It's plastic that's on it right now just to protect that. And right here is the way you control everything. We'll plug it in here in a minute and show you guys. But this is it. So let me get everything squared away and I'll show you all what it's like on and let you see how loud the cooling fans are, or how quiet they are. Okay, got the 42i here. We're gonna turn it on. It's got a real nice switch in the back that I'll show you here in a little bit, and see how loud it is. This has got a little bit of noise to it. I would say that we're going to look here in a minute, but I bet it's got a big fan on it. For it to do what it says it'll do, it's going to generate some heat. Now you may or may not be able to see it right here, but you've got a black ring here and a red ring. The black ring is for whenever it's plugged into 110 volts. And the red ring is for when it's on 220. And it basically just shows what you're able to do. Maxed out on 110 is 30 amps. Maxed out on 220 is 40 amps. Very, very simple. This unit does everything for you, pretty much. You just set where you want the voltage to be and go from there. Set and run just has to do with setting it up and testing everything, getting air to flow. And again, this one, just like the other ones, it moves the air from the back to the front. I like that because you don't get all kinds of dust collecting on the fins here over time. So let's get this thing, we're going to take it and I will show you guys what it looks like with its top off. Real nice switch. Now we just turned it off. It's going to run for a period of time and then it'll turn off on its own. There you go. This is where your shop air goes in. And that is all regulated by the unit. You've got your extra consumables. It actually comes a little bit more than that, but that's what they look like. And these are common consumables. This unit is made in conjunction with Thermodyne. There's some consulting and stuff going on here. Longevity and Thermodyne are friends, we'll put it that way. And this is what you get. So let's pull the top off and take a look at it. Here's the Longevity 42i plasma cutter with the top off. What you're going to notice here, first of all, very high-end components internally in here. All of the connectors and everything, these are high-end, very, very good, very robust connectors. This is a Mitsubishi solenoid, which is better than what you see in most. That's your air solenoid there. This is a pressure. What this does, this just senses the pressure. This is what will allow you to actually have a arc or not. This tells it if it's got air. This is a very nice industrial air regulator that, if you notice, it is non-adjustable to the outside user. This can be lifted and adjusted and then press it back down to lock, but it comes already set and you don't need to mess with it. It's got your water separator here, and this water separator automatically drains. And so you've got a real nice setup here to where your drain, everything, all is, it's autonomous. You don't have to really worry about it. You just use it. So now we will spin the unit here. Something that's really telling is the size of hardware that the handle uses. That's a beefy handle. Really good setup. This is a chassis ground here. It attaches to the top of the case, and it runs grounds in a few different places across the board. You have got a noise filter here, and back underneath here, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is the cooling vanes. They're underneath here. I'm looking at the top of them. It's a huge heat sink. They're stacked, and all of your transistors and your resistors, everything, your coils that are going to generate heat are inside of that tunnel. And you've got your cooling fan right here, and it, as you can see, it's ducted into that cartridge, that unit. And so what it does is it draws air in the back here and blows it straight through the heat sinks. Those heat sinks have vanes hanging down, and that air goes past them and cools, and then it goes right out the front here. Everything that makes heat is attached to that, and all that heat blows straight out the front. so you're getting the heat away from everything else. They've got this area segregated from your air pressure area. It's nice and cleanly done. Just can't ask for a better setup. This is of course just an insulation piece. It's going to help separate your frame from your control board. I pulled it off there to get a look at it, and that's it. Very, very nice. Everything has been potted, and what that means is, you see this red Permatex looking gunk here? If you have a electronic component that is potted, that means that it is filled with some type of resin or a rubber gasket material or something that keeps vibrations from being able to tear it up. Keeps oils and chemicals and stuff. And so everywhere where a transistor or something mates to the board here, it's got potting material around it. And so it's got its soldered connection, but it also has an actual glue, an adhesive, something that resists moisture buildup and everything in there with it. Really a nice way of doing things. You know, and just, you can look, it's got multiple noise isolators there. You don't see that in a lot of your lower end stuff. So let me come around there and we'll get a close-up look at this thing. Alright, now you can look down in there and you see the aluminum, looks like blocks in there. That is the heatsink cartridge that's down in there. If we take this and lean it to the side here, you see right there, that's the cooling vanes I was talking about hanging down. And basically what you get down inside of there is a tunnel that has cooling vanes on the top and on the bottom. And then you have components strung in through there as well. The important components that need to have the cooling attention paid to them. And of course, you've got your fan unit right in there. And just have a really nice setup. This is, in my opinion, hands down, one of the finest plasma cutters available today on the market. Let me get this set back up. You'd be hard pressed to find a finer plasma cutter anywhere in the world, period. I'll put this back together. As a matter of fact, let's run this while we're sitting here real time. Let me turn these little heater units off. They make a little noise. It is cold here right now. And we're going to turn this sucker on and see what kind of noise the fan makes. A little bit of noise on this one. But that is a beefy fan. It's got a lot of power. It's really, really, really moving the air. Not too loud like that. If I put my hand on there, you can really, it really illustrates just how much air is being moved already. That's a good bit. You can see right here, let me make sure this is getting on, that I'm getting this, because this will tell a lot. The pressure vessel that is made with the lid on, because it's sealed in there pretty good, you see how much air that little fan is moving, right? It's sucking it in there. Even with the lid off, watch how much air is coming out of this front vent. It's got the, watch See how it's pushing this, and this is what, 3 sheets of paper stapled together, and it's bending it out like that, and you've got some air blowing off to the sides, but that little fan is moving air through that tunnel that efficiently that it's coming out this side without even hardly escaping anywhere else, and that's with the lid off. So if you think they didn't put some thought into the design on the cooling system on these, you're crazy. Be right back once we put it back together. I'm going to go ahead and attach our torch, or our stinger, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to watch the way that everything's indexed there. You've got this main lug here. That's going to go in your 12 o'clock position. Ho-ho! The MIG that I just did was a lot heavier. Got all the transformers and everything in it. I almost pushed a brand new unit right off the edge. Alright, so there, now that's nice and tight. And you can see the way that this torch is set up. It is solid. Really, really good setup. And guys, I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch both of these videos. If there's anything that I can do for you, if anybody's got any questions, if you're interested in buying a TIG, MIG, stick welder, you want a flux core welder, plasma cutter, we've got offerings from high-end, heavy-duty industrial stuff all the way down to just the hobbyist. Let me know. Drop me an email to the email address here, and we'll get you the information, get you pricing, and don't fall victim to the welder snobs out there. You got a lot of guys that won't drive anything but Chevy. Ford probably got a better vehicle, but they won't drive anything other than Chevy. Point is, I digress. Give longevity a try. You will not regret it. Hands down. You will not regret it. You guys have seen some of the other stuff in these videos. A couple of these rifles and different things around. If anybody has any need for any gunsmith work, rifles, this rifle that you've been seeing here is a new offering that we've got. That it's the standard home defense rifle. It is a very high-end rifle system that it comes complete. For what you pay for this system, you could go out and buy like an LWRC or something like that, and you're going to spend a chunk of change on just the rifle. For less than what you would spend on just one of those rifles, you're going to get a high-end rifle, nothing but the best components: optic, flashlight, hard case, magazines, sling, everything. And this rifle is not put together. These are not done like Legos. They're not just slapped together because it's an AR, because everything fits. We do a number of things to get rid of the tolerance stacking issues. The rifle, the barrels are bedded to the upper that they're paired with. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that is not just sticking it together. So you guys can send an email to this other email address for information on gunsmith work or looking into purchasing one of our rifles. And again, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.